So, I watched the Terrifier last night. I actually, watched Joker last night as well. I watched that around like 3 p.m. Went out with my homies, hung out, did some shit on the town on some real shit, just gooning shit on some real shit, bro. Came back home, made the Joker video, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna watch Terrifier because I keep seeing a whole bunch of just articles and ads. I don't know if you guys also see these same things on Twitter, but it'll be like, oh, 25,000 people walked out during the opening premiere of Terrifier. It was the scariest movie they ever seen in their life. Like, no, nigga, it was just ass. That's why they walked out. I'm trying to make up some fucking unorthodox reason for the reason they left the fucking theater. They're like, how did they know that's why they walked out, bro? What the movie was just terrible. And then they was like, you know what? I don't want to watch this, and then walked out. Then all of a sudden there's 10 ads that everybody in the world sees immediately like, yo, people walked out during the opening premiere. This got to be a good sign. Like, nigga, when has people walking out ever been a good sign for anything, bro? They don't want to watch it. So I watched the first one just to see what all the hype was about, because I genuinely think this is like the first ever horror movie industry plan. Like, this movie was not good at all. I ain't gonna hold you at all, bro. Like, I'm gonna go ahead and just rip the band-aid off. It was a smooth, like, 4 or 5 out of 10, bro. Like, this is the first time I've ever seen, like, an actual person that wasn't an NPC actually do a review on this. Like, I'm usually always seeing, Twitter bot accounts like, yo, Terrifier in top 4 scary movies all time. Like, they got Freddy Krueger, they got Jason Voorhees, Terrifier, and Michael Myers. No, nigga, no, hell nah. Once I saw that picture, my nigga, I had to come make a video about it. That movie is... I guess we'll just start by talking about it right now. So it starts off with these two girls. They're both coming back for like a party or something. I'm sure it's just like a Halloween party. Obviously, one is drunk. One is kind of teetering on drunk, but not as drunk as the first girl is. This is our two main characters. One is named Tara. One is named who the fuck knows, who the fuck cares. Tara is the more sober one, so, she's kind of just watching her friend do all this drunk shit, talking about, oh, let's go get something to eat, going crazy and shit like that. While they're getting in the car to go get something to eat, Tara sees this clown. This clown dressed in all black, all white, and he kind of just walks at them and just stares at them. This is nowhere near the restaurant, so let me just say that they have to get in the car to drive to whatever restaurant they're going to. I don't know how far away this is, but there's driving involved. This is nowhere near the restaurant. She's like, yo, look at that guy. And then the drunk girl looks over at him and is like, hey, you want to come give us a kiss? And just starts saying just random bullshit that I doubt anybody would say, even if they're drunk. Like, I've been drunk before, my nigga. If I see a clown just sitting there staring at us, I'm not going to be like, yo, wanna come suck my dick? Like, nigga, nobody. Maybe I just haven't been drunk enough. Maybe I haven't been drunk enough, bro, where I just start completely just losing my goddamn mind. Because if I see a clown standing there, just... and then start smiling, bro, I'm not going to be fucking... No, it ain't no happy-go-lucky... No, I'm not jovial. I'm getting in the car like, all right, we need to go right the fuck now. I'm not doing whatever bullshit that nigga about to bring. Absolutely fucking not. So I get in the car... after, making fun of him, whatever. The only one girl's making fun of him. The one that's more sober is like, bro, get in the car. Stop that. And then they get in the car and drive to the restaurant. It's a pizza restaurant. They're ordering their pizza and stuff like that. And the girl, Tara, the main character, the one that's less drunk, is like, yo, that was really weird. What was that? And the drunk girl was like, I don't know. Who cares? It's just somebody dressed as a clown. So it's like, all right, best say less. Which I guess that's pretty reasonable. It is Halloween time, so, maybe it is just somebody dressed as a clown. That's not really a far-fetched thought to have right now. So that was okay, whatever. I probably wouldn't have yelled at the nigga, but it probably isn't that far-fetched to think somebody's just dressed as a clown on Halloween, and he's probably just some fucking loser trying to scare them. All right, best say less. Then the nigga walks inside the restaurant. How far did you guys drive? It wasn't some fucking... around the corner thing, bro. Like, I'm pretty sure there was like a cut. Like, they got in the car and then pulled off, and then they're like, it showed them driving, and there was a cut, and then all of a sudden they're walking inside the restaurant. How far did you niggas drive for this nigga to be able to keep up with the fucking car? They just sat down, bro. They haven't even ordered yet. Like, the guy hasn't even came up and got their fucking orders, and the Terrifier nigga walks in the store and just starts staring at them again like, nigga, no, hell nah. How the fuck did that nigga get here so goddamn fast? That shit was not right there, because they would have just got out the car and walked to the restaurant. They drove there. How the fuck did he keep up? So it's like, at this point, any idea that should be inside your head that's like, yo, this nigga is just fucking with us, that should be gone. That should be getting the fuck up out of here, bro. Like, that nigga, no, hell nah. So he walks in there, sits down, and then starts like just doing clown shit, you know, smiling, you know, just staring at the girl like this. He's staring at the one that's not fucking with him for whatever reason. The one that's like literally trying to leave the nigga alone, that's the one he's staring at. The drunk girl then proceedingly like, yo, what are you staring at? Because, you know, Tara sees him and is like, yo, what the fuck? Like, how the fuck did that nigga get here? And she's like clearly surprised, and the drunk girl's like, what happened? Oh, it's the clown. Ah. She stands up, walks over to the nigga, and is like, yo, you want to take a picture with me? Want to take a picture with me? And gets in the nigga's face like that. I am being 100% serious. The scene I'm about to fucking describe to you is what happened. I'm not over exaggerating. I'm not hyping this shit. This is what happened. She's like, yo, you want to take a picture with me? Ha, ha. This shit that happens next is borderline sexual harassment. She then grabs the nigga arm because he's sitting like this, just staring at the other girl that's not messing with him. The girl that's messing with him, he never looks at her, bro. He's just like, she's doing all this shit next to him, and he's just like this, staring at the bitch that she wants to leave him alone. She's like, yo, what are you doing? Sit down. What are you messing with this nigga for, bro? And he's just staring straight at her. Like, bro, why are you mad at me? What did I do? Like, I genuinely did nothing to you. Get mad at the bitch fucking about to do what she about to do. So he's sitting like this. She grabs his arm, puts it around her, sits in the nigga lap, and then start taking selfies. Like right next to the nigga's face, bro. Like when I say she like this with it, this is his vision right here, nigga. Like, nigga, what the fuck? Are you serious? We don't even know this nigga. One, I will say that he does look scary. This is the one compliment I will give. Whoever designed this costume did a very good job. I'll also give, you know, the gore effects person a very good job as well. It didn't really look that cheesy. It didn't look corny. It looked pretty realistic. And the costume did look scary. Like, if I were to see this nigga running after me, I wouldn't just just stand there. Like, I wouldn't say it's as scary as Pennywise, because Pennywise is a scary looking costume. But it's definitely up there. The costume design was pretty good. You know, his teeth, his mouth, and everything. And the costume does look good. So I wouldn't be fucking with this nigga. Like, it looks so scary that I would not be messing with this nigga at all, bro. Like, it's on some shit like, no, leave that nigga alone. Leave him up to whatever demons he facing, because he clearly about to unleash them niggas upon whoever the fuck fucks them first. So she's doing all that shit, and he still does not look at her. He still doesn't look at her. I think it literally takes her for, like, to grab his face and, like, turn it towards him. Like, yo, why aren't you paying attention to me? Like, that's what makes him finally look at her, bro. Like, until that moment, he's still just looking at the other girl. Like, why are you mad at me? What did I do? So the drunk girl gets out of his lap, goes to the, you know, seat that they were sitting at, and, you know, they get their pizza or whatever, and the pizza gets brought out to them. I guess they ordered in that little split time or some shit. I don't fucking know. Then the guy is like, yo, who is this ugly ass clown nigga? Like, what the fuck is going on? Who is this nigga? He's like, why is he bothering y'all? Even though there should be no reason that he should be getting mad at the clown. This girl just gave this nigga a whole lap dance unconsensually. Get her the fuck up out of here. He didn't do anything. He walks up to the women. He's like, yo, is this guy messing with you? I'll get him out of here right now. So he, like, you know, goes to the clown, grabs, get out of my store, and, like, throws him out of there, and then grabs he has this, like, big ass bag that he carries with him, basically. It's never explained what's inside the bag. I think, actually it is kind of subtly. I don't think it shows him doing anything, but I think it's, like, a various amount of, like, weapons and saws and stuff like that. So he grabs the bag and then throws it out there after him, and then it's, like, the whole, like, jazz scene off Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when the nigga's like, oh, like, flies out the front door and shit like that. And he's like, yeah, I got him. Don't worry about that anymore. Of course, it's like a bigger, like, Italian dude, so he's supposed to be like the brawn dude that's like protecting them in this moment or whatever. Like, thank you, appreciate that. He was messing with us. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. He was not messing with you, but now he's going to. Good job, my nigga. Congratulations. You just put yourself in harm's way for no reason. So the dude, like, goes to the back or whatever. They get done eating and they leave. Basically what happens is, you know, it shows them get in the car and then drive off. This part's kind of, like, weird because, like, they stop for some reason. Like, I guess, like, the clown dude or whatever, his name is Artie. I'm guessing Artie like messed with their tire in some way. So they drive a little bit down the road and their tire pops. Like, no, what the fuck? We gotta call somebody. It's midnight. Where are we gonna find somebody that can tow the car this late? No, And Tara's like, yo, I got my sister. I can call her right quick. Tara calls up her sister's like, yo, can you come pick us up? Our car stopped in front of yada yada so-and-so, this warehouse. And Tara's sister is like, oh, I'm studying for my fucking exam, but sure, say less. Tara's sister leaves, and now she is on the way to come pick them up to take them back to her college dorm room, I'm guessing what it is. So they're both inside the car in front of this warehouse-looking thing, and Tara makes the first dumb decision inside the entire movie. Tara's like, yo, I really gotta pee right now. And the drunk girl is the first smart decision she makes is like, just step outside the car and take a piss in the fucking road. Like, I don't know if you guys know how normal it is for girls to kind of just like pop a squat and just like piss. Like, if I don't know, I've been in a lot of relationships. Maybe it's just me, my nigga. I don't know, bro. But I've been in like a handful of relationships where like if we're out somewhere and the girl gotta pee and there's nobody around, she'll literally just get out the car and just do it right there and then kind of like keep an eye open, and then like she'll have some wipes or something. Girls always have everything with them that they need at all times. She'll grab wipes and clean herself up and then get back in the car. Like, that's a normal thing to me. So her doing that right there wouldn't have been so abnormal. But the girl was like, why the fuck would I do that? That's disgusting. That's something only you would do. So she like got mad at her. I was like, I'm gonna go, cause then I guess they look at the warehouse or whatever, and like this janitor comes out, I guess I was cleaning the place, and starts smoking. And she's like, I'm gonna go ask him if I can use their bathroom. And the girl that's drunk is like, nigga, what? Sure, if that seems more safe to you than just pissing right here on the side of the car while we can stay inside this locked car, then do your thug thizzle, I guess. So Tara gets out of the car. The one that's less sober is the one who's doing all this bullshit now. Goes and talks to the janitor. The janitor's like, yeah, there's a bathroom back here. Let's go. So Tara and the janitor are now inside the warehouse building, and the drunk girl is now inside the car by herself. That's how the characters are dispersed. And now cuts back to the pizza restaurant. One of the guys, the employees there's only 2 employees working that night, of course. One of the employees, like, cleaning the bathroom was like, yo, you're gonna have to pay me more for this. Speaking to the manager that originally threw Artie out of the fucking store. So he's yelling out the bathroom like, you have to pay me way more than this. You're on my last nerve. Just getting mad while cleaning the toilets and stuff like that, which is a part of your fucking job. Like, I've worked nothing but restaurant jobs my entire life. Sometimes you gotta clean the toilets. That's literally a part of your occupation. So I don't know why he pay you more for just doing your job. Like, who else gonna clean it, nigga? Nobody? Like, what are you talking about? So he's yelling out and he's like, yo, you hear me? Yo, where are you? And then he walks out of the bathroom and then like kind of looks around the place. And this is like the first scene we get our like gory kind of scene, I guess. Is the first time it happens inside the entire movie. We see the manager's head now sitting on the counter, and it's like supposed to look like a jack-o'-lantern. So there's like lights inside of his eyes, like a candle, I guess, and there's a candle inside of his mouth. I don't know how Artie even did this without nobody hearing. The nigga was literally in the room next to him. Like, imagine like I'm cleaning the bathroom right here, and then my kitchen is where the head is. Like, how would I have not heard a grown man like, unless the nigga was just like silent and just let him do it. I don't know how possibly he didn't hear anything while he was cleaning the bathroom. There's literally no fucking way whatsoever. So he sees the head and is like, oh, what the fuck, and then tries to run out, and of course Artie stops him. I actually forgot how Artie kills him. I ain't gonna hold you at all, even though I just watched it last night. I just know he kills him. I think he like stabs him in the head or some shit, and he kind of dies immediately or some shit. I really don't remember, bro. Like, this movie was such a blur that I don't know, my nigga. I don't remember it all. Well, he killed him. He killed the dude. It's not important whatsoever to the storyline. He just kills the guy. The guy didn't even do anything. The guy that literally did nothing was the one that also died, along with the guy that threw his ass out the fucking store. So kills this dude, and that kind of like proves to you that Artie is willing to kill innocent people, I guess, because this guy literally didn't do anything, and he ended up dying along with his other employee. So it cuts back to the girl that was in the bathroom, Tara. This part is also kind of like cloudy. I'm guessing she walks out of the bathroom and she hears like meowing or some shit from the back of the warehouse, is what I remember. So she starts walking back there for whatever reason, because why would you not just go back to the car? Why would you give a fuck about a cat meowing in a big ass warehouse? And it's not like, don't imagine like an actual warehouse. Imagine how like the inside of like a car shop looks. How there's like, you know, those rooms with like all those like various cars and stuff like that, and like a whole bunch of like, you know, tools and stuff, toolboxes, the chains and stuff hanging down. Imagine that type of warehouse. Don't imagine like a fucking fancy one. Imagine like a car warehouse, basically. So she starts walking back there, doesn't find the cat, but she sees a woman back there like, yo, what are you doing in my house? I guess it's like some homeless woman that's lost her mind or some shit. Is for some reason inside this warehouse. I have no idea, because the thing is, when she asked to go to the bathroom, the janitor was like, no, I'm not letting anybody inside here. What? I would get fired immediately if anybody else in this warehouse other than me was in here. And then all of a sudden there's another woman in here for literally no reason whatsoever. And a cat? Like, what? I don't get it, my nigga. Like, she is just in there for some reason. She's like, yo, what are you doing in here? And the woman's like, oh, I was just taking care of my baby. And then like she shows the baby, and it's like a doll, of course. So she's like, oh, you must be the new tenant inside here. You living with me as well? And then Tara's like, yep, I am. Well, I'm gonna go pay my rent. And then just kind of like walks past her to kind of get away from her or whatever the fuck. And as she's going back, I'm pretty sure it cuts back to the car. Tara's walking back, you know, towards, I guess, the actual part of the fucking warehouse we can leave and shit. And it cuts back to the car. And it shows the drunk friend kind of just sitting there listening to the radio, scrolling through the pictures that she took with the fucking clown or whatever. And it gets to one where, you know, she like turned her head and he's kind of just staring at her. And the radio's like, yo, there's been somehow the cops got there. I don't know how. I don't know who would have called the cops. The store was clearly closed because they were cleaning the bathrooms and stuff like that. So I don't know who would have called the cops in order for the cops to show up. But there's a radio now going on saying, you know, be careful, guys, out there. You know, there's been 2 murders at this restaurant. You know, it was closed, and, you know, the murders were gruesome. And it was done apparently by a clown in black and white costume. And then she sees the guy, you know, that was taking pictures with her. It's like, oh, that's the same clown. And then, like I said, I don't know who the fuck called the cops. I don't know how the cops saw the nigga. I don't know what witnesses saw the fucking clown and was just let the nigga get away. No idea. Who fucking knows, bro? Who fucking knows? I guess it was like a bystander that just happened upon the store or some shit, even though it was closed. She's like, yo, no, the clown that we were with and I took pictures with, how the fuck did he's the one that killed them. And then you hear like the car door open and somebody sit down in the car, and she's like, yo, Tara, can you believe that this is the dude that, and then it turns, and of course it's the clown. And then it cuts back to the girl. It never shows what happened. It cuts back to the girl inside the warehouse, and she has like gotten lost or some shit. Like she can't find her way back. Like either that or the door that she tried to get through to get back to the main part was locked. So now she's kind of just stuck in this little warehouse part. And as she's opening the door, she sees, you know, the clown like come into a different part of it. Like if she's right here, then the clown is like on the other side, like just opening the door, and like he's like immediately trying to like look for her. I guess he knows for some reason that she's in there. I don't know how the fuck he knows that, but you know, it starts like doing the whole scene where she has to like hide and stuff behind cars, and it does the whole thing where like there's no way that he would possibly know where she is because she's not making any sound whatsoever or breathing loud or nothing. But there's the whole thing where he's like, and like immediately looks at I hate those scenes because like they should not know. They should not know where the person is. I don't like the scenes like that because how the fuck, how is this doing this? And the thing is, like, there's scenes like that in my favorite movie franchise that is Scream. But you also got to realize that Scream came out in like 1998, like a very old movie. This movie came out in like 2017. Like it's new. It's a newer horror movie. It can't hide behind the fact that it was an old-fashioned scary movie, and that's why it's so corny and cheesy. But this movie came out literally like 7 years ago. Scream came out like 20 damn years ago. Some real shit. Like it's not an old movie, so you shouldn't be doing the same things that were happening back 20 years ago, bro. Like it's fairly new. So he like does the whole thing and looks at her and like starts kind of like going towards her and stuff, and she's trying to hide in different places, and she finds a way out of there and is running towards the janitor or whatever, but of course he has his earphones in, turned the other way like this, mopping and shit like that, and she's like, please help, please, and like of course he hears at the last second when the guy grabs her, the arty clown grabs her and then like pulls her to the side. He's like, huh? And why they always do that? Why do they always do it? It should be no, you heard something, you heard somebody yelling, please help me. That wasn't inside the song, bro. Niggas gotta realize they listen probably, I'm sure y'all watching this listen to the same probably like 20 songs every day, my nigga, or at least have the same songs in your rotation daily. You know what those songs sound like. So if you hear somebody, please help, please, it's not gonna be some maybe it was a song. Like, no, you've heard the song before. You heard it. You've heard it. It's not from the song. So he just puts the things back in and already like puts some shit inside her neck and makes her go to sleep. She wakes up and he's taking the weapons out of the bag he was holding, and he's like, doing the whole thing, like, making her scared and shit, putting the saw next to her neck, and she's like, no, please. But she's the main character, so you kind of figure she's not gonna die right there. And he's like, he grabs this big ass like hacksaw and like puts it on her neck, and is like, and like he turns and like there's this big sheet, and he walks to the sheet and tears it down, and there you see like the drunk friend still alive, but she's like butt ass, like she kind of just has her titties hanging and she's upside down, like please, and then she's like screaming and stuff like that. How this nigga still doesn't hear out there, the janitor, there should be no way he doesn't hear any of this shit, but I guess you can hide behind the fact that they're both duct taped, I suppose. But even so, like, you would still hear loud ass like groans and shit, bro. Like, like that can get loud if you are dying or about to die. Like, I'm not gonna be fucking quiet doing that shit. So she's hanging upside down naked. How he even got access to all these fucking gadgets and shit to even make her hang upside down? It's like this big ass, like, I don't even know what the fuck it is. She's hanging off something. I don't know how he did it. She's hanging off something. And then he grabs the hacksaw and like puts it like, or actually he grabs her panties and rip them off, and then he grabs the hacksaw and like puts it right on her pussy. They don't show it, but you can just of course put two and two together. That's where he starts, and then he like cuts her in half from that. Like I said, I will say the costume design and the gore effects were good. Like I will give it that credit. As of like the kills and stuff, those are also pretty good as well. I just really don't remember how the fuck the first nigga died, but like it's like a diamond in the rough sort of thing. I won't just completely show in this movie because of course the costume design did good, the effects did good, and the person coming up with the ways these people died also did pretty good as well. Until it gets towards the end and it kind of starts getting repetitive and stuff. But I will say that those three things are good, and whoever did that deserves, to be a part of a different movie. Because when you put those behind just everything else that's bad, it's kind of like the fact that nothing in this movie really makes sense, the fact that nobody is hearing this stuff, the fact that everything's kind of like cliche at this point because it's a horror movie, and unfortunately, and like I will say, if this movie was made back in like the 90s, I would give it a lot more credit than it's due, but it was made recently, so I can't really give it that credit that I want to because it was a recent movie. Like all this stuff is happening in like inside the decade, like that type shit. So I will say if it was made like the 90s or something, I would give it a lot more credit than I am right now. But unfortunately, it's newer, so dialogue corny, nothing makes sense, everything's cliche. It just, even the ending makes no sense whatsoever. I guess there's like a huge plot twist at the end that I'll get to in a second, because I will start skipping forward because I really don't want to just talk about this whole movie. It's just like, I don't know, like, bro, just go watch it yourself if you want to. So he kills the friend, cuts her in half. Tara's gonna say, Tara, while she's seeing her friend get cut in half, she breaks free from the duct tape, gets up, runs away, stabs a nigga inside the fucking chest. This nigga gets stabbed like 75 times, but it's kind of cleaned up by the plot twist at the end. Like, there should be no way he should still be chasing her. He gets stabbed in the chest at one point, in the foot at one point, and niggas know, like, I've seen one of my homies step on a nail before, and he was subdued for at least 2 weeks. Like, if something goes through your foot, niggas don't realize how bad that affects the way you walk, how much you walk, and how fast you walk. Like, that, if you get stabbed in your foot, you kind of done for until that shit heals. Like, you limping or in bed rest for at least 2 weeks until that shit kind of heals itself. It's like, there's so many bones. Like, I don't want to show my foot right here, but like, there's so many bones right here. Like, if you just feel your foot, there's so many bones, and if you get stabbed right here, nigga, like, you're kind of subdued. Unfortunately, like, that's just what it is. He gets stabbed there, he gets stabbed in the eye, he gets stabbed in the head at one point, and like, the nigga is still just continuing, like, literally after getting stabbed in the foot, he's still moving like this. Like, nigga, how are you doing that? How are you? No, bro, I refuse to believe that. I refuse to believe that. You're not gonna still be some fucking zany ass, finicky ass nigga. You're not gonna be doing that still, bro. No, you're done for. Go sit down. So she escapes, or tries to anyway. She gets out of there. He ends up going to the lady that was in there, the homeless lady, kills her, scalps her. He grabs Tara eventually after she tries to escape for like the last time. And this is kind of like the first big plot twist inside the movie, is that he kills the main character. So like, he stabs her a couple of times and then shoots her, which is like, I guess, another plot twist, because like, whoa, slashers never have guns. So the thing is, like, he was kind of like leaning down after she got a good hit on him, and then he was like, I just shot her in the stomach, and she kind of like falls down. Then he shoots her right here in the shoulder. Then he shoots her right here in the like the fucking cheek or some shit, and she's still kind of alive. And then he walks over, I guess, reloads his fucking gun, and then shoots her in the head. So she's dead. The friend is dead. The homeless lady's dead. He goes out there to the janitor, knocks him out. He just like hits him with the hammer right here in the head, like, as hard as he can. He doesn't die, but he like gets knocked out or whatever. And at that point, the sister, of course, finally shows up and is like, yo, Tara, where are you? Texting the fucking friend and stuff, like, where you guys at? And of course, at this point, the clown has the girl's phone and is like, yo, we back here in the back of the warehouse. Pull up. Tara's sick. I'm not coming in that warehouse, dog. I'll wait for y'all. Getting back in my car, locking every door. Y'all wait for y'all out here. Whenever you get that situated, let me know. I don't care who's sick back there. I don't give a flying fuck who the fuck is sick. My own mother could be back there. Yo, bet, say less. I'll wait in the car for y'all to get back up here. I'm not going back there. I don't know a nigga that would go back there. No. maybe if I guess it was y'all's girlfriend, even if it was my girlfriend, I'd still be like, yo, bet, say less. I'll wait for y'all up here. Like, I'm sure some of y'all, maybe if it was y'all's girlfriend, y'all go back there like, oh, bet, say less. I'll be back there in a second to help her be sick. Like, nigga, what could I provide to the situation? If there's somebody back there helping her already, what am I gonna do? Just add myself to it and rub her back as well while she throwing up? Like, nigga, and I'll wait for y'all up here. I can't even go inside the girl's bathroom. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? I'm sitting right here waiting. So the sister goes in there, and of course she's starting to find all these dead bodies. She finds Dawn cut in half. Dawn is what her name is. Dawn is the girl that was the other friend, the drunk girl. She finds Dawn cut in half. She finds her sister dead. She finds the homeless lady. Or actually, she walks after seeing Dawn cut in half and then like kind of runs away. And she sees what she thinks is her sister, kind of like this, you know, with brown hair and stuff like that. She just sees like a naked woman with brown hair. You know, she's like kind of balled up and stuff. And she's like, Tara, come on, we gotta go. And then she looks over and then sees this homeless woman, which is also, this is a pretty cool scene as well, because it didn't catch me off guard, but it was like, what the fuck? So she sees the homeless woman. Let me explain this the best I can. She sees the homeless woman laying down, like convulsing and stuff, with her whole chest chopped off, like the entire section that would be titty is chopped off like this, and there's like a big gory square right here. It's all red and stuff, And I don't know if you can see her heart pumping right there, but I'm sure you can. And her like scalp is also taken off to where she's like bald basically. And then after she sees the woman like that, she turns back to the woman that she thinks is the sister, and it's the clown. Like, the clown has now put the woman's titties on himself, somehow in perfect condition. Like, the titties ain't injured at all. The skin ain't injured at all. Like, he somehow connected that shit to his chest flawlessly. And the brown hair that she saw was the woman's scalp. So she like turns to and then like she's like, what the fuck? And then runs out of there. Like I said, I will say some of these like gory scenes and stuff is like just, it catches you off guard a little bit, but it wouldn't make me walk out of the fucking theater. Like, I will give it credit to that. Like, unless you just have never seen a horror scary movie at all inside your entire life, you're not gonna walk out of the theater. But if you go in there like me, I just consistently watch a lot of horror and scary movies and stuff like that, then you see stuff like this and it's like, yo, that's crazy. And then you just go about your day. She runs out. The clown starts chasing her now. Ends up, catching her a few times. She gets away a few times. And, last time he catches her, he, like, has his, like, fucking, like, chain whip and starts, like, hitting her with it, basically. Boom, 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 boom. And then, as he's hitting her, you think she's about to die. The janitor walks up and like hits him in the back of the head with this big canister, and then he kind of like falls over and slumps down. And for some reason, he doesn't make sure the guy is dead. I don't know why people in horror movies are still not doing that. Like, kill the nigga that's obviously not gonna kill them. Did you just hit him in the head? He about to be knocked out for a smooth 2 minutes and get the fuck back up. So he grabs her, come on, we gotta go. And they get to the front, they call the cops or whatever. And she's obviously in shock, losing her mind or whatever. And then, they call the cops are on their way now. He grabs her, like, come on, we gotta go. And then, like, he tries to escape, but the door that they need to leave is like one of those big, like, those doors that like open like this, kind of like in warehouses. They try to get out that, but it's like locked and chained shut. So he takes a weapon and he takes like a pipe and starts hitting the fuck out of it. And then like he goes back and it's like, maybe I can find another weapon, and like starts walking back towards his room. And of course the clown comes out and grabs him and throws him on the ground, and then like just keeps on stepping on his head until it just like fucking just goes flat. The sister at this point grabs the same pipe and just keeps hitting the fuck out the chain. Boom, 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 boom. And then it finally breaks off. She escapes, get out of here, as the clown is like, oh, still stanky legging over towards her and shit like that, my nigga. And like she finds this part is extremely stupid, and this is kind of like the part where I was like, yeah, I'm definitely giving this shit like a fucking 2 out of 10. Actually, I won't give it a 2 out of 10, but I'll give my final rating at the end. She runs out, finally escapes to where she's outside. Completely outside. Imagine she finally breaks out of the warehouse. Boom. The clown is like slowly walking towards her. He's not even really running like that. She's running full speed. Outside. See some cars and stuff. Mad cars everywhere because it's a fucking car auto shop or whatever. Literally looks at another set of doors that leads back into the warehouse. Imagine she runs out, boom. Runs over, boom. Turns around and sees another set of doors that leads back into the warehouse. What's written on the doors? In blood. A huge keep out written in blood. And she runs into it. I don't know if it's written in blood or if it's written in red paint. There's a huge keep out written on the door saying, yo, keep out in blood, nigga. Why not just run? You're outside. She was outside. It didn't show like she was barricaded inside like by a huge wall. Like, it didn't show anything. You heard crickets. She was outside. and she ran back into a pair of doors that said "Keep Out" written in blood. She ran in, you know, kind of like had to squeeze through because it was also chain shut. And she's like, ah, and then, you know, it shows the clown like grab her leg and then stab her Achilles a few times, so she's subdued. She's never running again because only physics work on everybody else and not him, because he is still running. But when she gets stabbed and damn near the same spot, she all of a sudden crawling and shit. It's like, I understand it's Achilles and not, you know, like a foot, but there's still tendons inside your foot that would have you walk in the exact same way as your Achilles, honestly. I know Achilles is a lot worse. I know once you slice that, you kind of done for in that whole leg, but like, it's still your foot. Like, it's not, you're not going to still be running after that is what I'm saying. So she's crawling. The dude eventually, you know, goes away. She's looking through the crack and he's going. And then you start hearing sirens. So like the police is finally here. All she has to do is just survive for this last little 5-second period until the police get her or whatever. Well, she looks out again and he somehow got into one of the cars that was inside the car lot. Because, you know, it's like I said, it was like a big ass, like abandoned car junkyard or whatever the fuck, or car lot basically. Where it wasn't a junkyard, because that would explain why she didn't escape. It wasn't a junkyard at all, because the cops pull up. So it was just a random car lot with like some like cars that are being worked on and shit. He gets inside one of the trucks, starts the car somehow, and then like drives through the fucking doors or some shit. And I guess she didn't move in time, so she like and got hit. After, you know, she still saw the car was coming toward her. Like, it wasn't like she looked and it was already driving. She looked, and then you see the car start, and the headlights come on, and then he drives. Like, you see the entire process. Like, it's not like she looked and was already, like, on, like, right here and just rammed through. She looked through it, and the nigga was, like, 15 feet away, and he was, like, immediately starting, and then went through the whole process, and then she got hit. So she's laying there. He gets out of the car, walks over there to her, and kind of like just sits over her. And then, you know, the cops bust in and is like, yo, put your hands up, put your hands up. You're done for, you're done, buddy. And like you see him like going like this off her face and like eating stuff basically. So you can assume that he's like eating her face. And then, you know, he looks back at the cops and is like, oh, like, so he's just a weird nigga. Like, he's just like acting like a clown would in this scenario. So they're like, bro, I'm gonna shoot if you don't get off that woman that you're killing right now. Like, they would have already shot the nigga. Like, he would have been dead as soon as they saw him on top of the woman. Like, there's no real life applied to this movie, literally at all. And I can explain that with the ending I'm about to tell y'all. There's no real life applied to it whatsoever. He's still just sitting there eating, and I'm sitting there like, yo, I'm gonna shoot if you don't put your hands up right now. Stop eating that woman's face. So he takes like 5 more bites, looks up, puts one hand up. You see him like reaching towards something and like, put your hand up. You only have one more chance or I will shoot. I promise I will shoot you. As a nigga just still. He has a gun. I will shoot you, I promise you. Stop, no! And then he kind of just shoots himself in the head. Like, he literally does it that slow. He actually does it that slow and then shoots himself in the head or whatever. So, the clown already is dead. They run over to the girl. Like, oh, she's still alive. Her face is, of course, mad disfigured. There was a whole thing that, like, something happened at the very beginning and then it kind of connects to the very end of this movie. I don't give a fuck about that plot line because that also makes no sense. So like, if you want to go watch it, go watch it. But if some Terrifier fan finds this and is like, he didn't even mention the part that, yeah, it connects to the beginning in some way, shape, or form. I don't give a fuck about explaining it right now. So just go watch it and see what I mean. So, is that already? Like, so all the bodies get brought to the coroner so he can start doing investigations and stuff like that. And, you know, he's like investigating the bodies and they wheel in the one that will be Artie's body. They're like, yo, you know, this is the guy that did all this stuff. And the coroner's like, whoa, good, amazing. So he starts, you know, for some reason he unbelt buckles the entire body, like takes his feet off. Then he unbelt buckles the body and then starts to zip down, you know, the thing or whatever. And after he zips it down, he just sees Artie staring at him like this. Just smiling with the big ass, like, brain busted out of his head. Like, the gunshot definitely killed him. Like, he shot right here, and there's a huge ass like hole right here where the gun came out of his fucking brain and skull. So he's like, ugh. And then lights start flashing, and the electricity's like, and this man, the clock starts spinning and shit. He's like, what's going on? What was happening? And then he looks back at Artie, and then like Artie kills him. So I guess the big plot twist is that, oh, this wasn't just a regular human this entire time. It was a Jason Voorhees type, where they just can't die ever at all. Which, I mean, I get it, but it's like, why was the things like affecting him when they would hit him and stuff? Because like they would stab him and he would like go down, he would get knocked out. Which I'm sure Jason Voorhees also kind of went through the same thing. I'm pretty sure it was even explained in the beginning that Jason Voorhees was a regular human at one point. Like in the first one, it was his mom, and the second one, it was him. Like, I don't know, bro. Just some things just don't make sense in life, I guess. And I just realized that. I will give this movie. I'll give Terrifier. I'll give it a 4 out of 10, bro. I'll give it a 4.5 out of 10. Like I said, it wasn't terrible. No pun. It should have been called terrible on some real shit, my nigga. But like, it wasn't completely terrible like I thought it was gonna be. It was a 4.5. The graphic effects were pretty cool. The costume design was really cool. The dialogue and everything else literally was ass. But those 4 things did save this movie. I'll give it a point for each thing. 1 point for costume being really good. 1 point for visual effects being pretty good. 1 point for somehow surviving this long as a series. And 1 point for showing titties in the movie, I guess. I don't fucking know, bro. Just go watch it yourself if you want to. I'm out of here. 4.5 out of 10. Bye.